I'm a sound artist, and I'm normally working on. Normally, I used to work a lot site specifically. So pieces like this are still like it's somehow it's a new way of work, somehow related to Corona, but also it's an interest of mine to yeah to see sound art in like as a as a whole experience that's not only an auditory experience but it's also connected to the space where it's in, and also to the visual input um, for the um, viewer. So that's something where I came from, and now I'm working on objects and yeah, situations that try to stimulate the auditory perception, and also work or try to sense yeah to make people more sensitive to auditory environments, and also what they are experiencing. And in this piece, I also try to even if it's very like it looks like a light object, but it's still acting on the inputs, on the auditory inputs that are in the room. Yeah. How relates the work to this? I mean, there is this gap of an artificial mind and then and this you pay us. So you and and I mean, there are different questions raised. What is this us? What is paying? What this does this meaning? But also, what is this artificial mind? Is there any mind in there, or is it on like it's a machine? But right now in our society, I have the feeling these artificial intelligence things, they are mostly quite simple machines, but they are not really understandable, and so they get lifted up into a state where they are like institution like, and people tend to also put responsibility on these machines, even if there is always like persons or an institution, and like a human institution in behind it that that made decisions so that this machine works as it works. And if it shouldn't work this way, it should have been programmed in another way. And my machine, it's also quite simple. It's so it's just taking the input from the microphone and translates it into light. But it's still also, it has some things that you can't really predict, or you can't really say how it works. So there is some hidden algorithm, and I think that's exactly this parallel to how artificial intelligences are used in our society right now. So you have this the other part, like the pay us. I mean, there are also two options how you could answer this. There's the one answer is you have to provide energy, and you have to provide data to work. In my work, it's the artificial the auditive data, but it's in other artificial intelligence contexts is it's like some other data, but the principle is the same, and you have to yeah, you have to provide these things, um, and then it works, or yeah, but then there are also consequences, and that's also something you could say it's like how you pay it in the end, like the use of it. You have to yeah, you have to decide if you stick to the decision of this artificial algorithm or not, and if you do, there are consequences, and that's also something a society or an individual pays for. So like these algorithms work quite well statistically, but they have consequences to individuals. And even if it's statistically good for a society, it doesn't mean that all these compromises that you do or that you make um, shouldn't be also be possible for like to break out of this structure. Yeah, and that's maybe the playful aspect that also lays in the work. This topic of dystopia always is related to utopia. So I have a I always try to make also like positive like what is like bringing positive perspectives into the view, but even in this, or even in this time of this pandemic, I think there are like how you can always shift your perspective, and like right now this work I would say it doesn't really deal with corona, but we have a lot of other topics as well that are like evenly or like on a same level of this topic like power that like that is somehow like covered by this pandemic, and that's maybe the thing that I work with, like the this artificial intelligence thing is not really part of this. It is I think it is a lot of computing power is used to tackle this pandemic, but it's not in a dystopian way, I would say. But there is a big dystopian potential in artificial intelligence. So I yeah, maybe I also opted to not use corona as a topic, because I think it's right now it's everywhere. But things like artificial intelligence, if it's used like in a yeah, in a harmful way, has the same potential as climate change or all these other dystopian moments that and then topics that are around in our times. I'm very grateful that that it takes place even in these times, and yeah, I would have loved to be with you. I've been in Istanbul, I think 10 years ago for 2 weeks, and I loved it. So it would have been nice to be there again. Maybe it's possible in the future. I think it is definitely. Maybe it needs some time, but it will be. And yeah, so actually, I only know the names of the other participants, and I, I yeah, I would love to see the exhibition in person. So that's something, yeah, I really miss. And also to see how all this stuff relates, because especially in sound art exhibitions, I think it's very, yeah, because of sound is not like you can't um, um, fade it out or something in your mind. It's always coming in relations to other works, and I think that's also what makes it special.